Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tusk Gaming. In this episode, we're playing Dungeons & Dragons online, and we are taking a deep dive into the Wizard Eldritch Knight Enhancement tree. This is going to be an amazing build. It is a little advanced, so if this is your second go around and you're familiar with DDO, then this may be the challenging class for you. It is extremely fun to play because we're backing this enhancement tree up with the Pale Master and of course the racial deep gnome tree. Alright, let's go ahead and get into this build and see what I'm so excited about.
Welcome to Tusk Gaming. Please like, subscribe, and get notified.
Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and not choose the Deep Gnome pre-build. We're not going to be doing that. We want to select our own spells. It's important to get Death Aura. And we're going to go ahead and just hop right up in here. I'm going to choose to put some decent amount of points in Constitution. We're going to max out Intelligence. We are going to max out Constitution. I'm not going to worry about any of these penalties. Just not going to do it. We are going to be focused on something important in the Eldritch Knight tree. And hopefully I'm saying that word right. If I'm not, I'm sure you guys are going to correct me. We're going to go ahead and just blow through this. Now, I am going to take Search. We've got 8 more points. I'm not going to worry about Spot. I'm going to take a few points in Bluff. And then, of course, I'm going to use Wands eventually. I want to get this up so I could use some better things. Better UMD. Use Magic Device. That's really where I'm going. And now we'll go ahead and, I mean, you can choose pretty much those last 4 points. You can go the direction I went or whatever else you want to do. That's up to you. Now, off the get-go, because this character is going to start at level 15. So that means I've got a bunch more feats I can choose. But off the get-go, I want to get the most bang for my buck with each feat. Now, the last feat I'm going to choose is going to be Kolpesh. Yes, imagine that. I'm not going to use two-handed weapon fighting, not with this particular build. I'm going to use the Kolpesh, and you can get a great Kolpesh level 10 in Ravenloft there, and the very first quest gives you a weapon selection of your choice. So I encourage you to do that, and then of course we're going to grab Mental Toughness. And we're going to go ahead and select a few spells that could be beneficial. We are going to take all of these. These do pretty decent damage. Level 15 or so, we're talking, you know, on a crit, you know, 300-400 hit points worth of damage. We've got 2 more to choose. And we're going to pretty much... I really don't need the rest of this stuff, but we'll go ahead and hit Acid Spray and do that just to pick some spells, just to get this going. We need to choose a name. We're gonna do Faith Reaper 2. I've recreated this character. She's just so amazing. You guys are going to love it. I just know it. And if you don't, whatever. I'm choosing neutral alignment. That way I can use unholy weapons. I can use anything being neutral and not get a level penalty for using it. So FYI on that. This character can get away with it. We'll go ahead and get in game. We'll level up. And I will take you with me. I'm not going to speed this up like I have in the past. We're going to go ahead and keep this real and keep this quick. So bear with me. I accept wizard training. Alright, so when it comes to these points, I'm just going to go ahead, slide on down, put 1 point in each. As you can see, I'm just going to keep doing it. That's going to be the theory behind that. And then, you know, the rest of this stuff doesn't matter for the first level spells. I'm going to go ahead and make a quick correction. I apologize. That's better. Alright. So we'll go ahead and attack Elsminster. And then again, it's right on down. Keep it simple, guys. The KISS solution. Keep it simple. Silly? I don't think so. Maybe not. I'd rather be silly than stupid. But no one is stupid on this channel. There are no stupid questions, only answers. And if I am doing something that you don't approve of, please let me know. Spell penetration, gonna be key. Now, down here, I'm not gonna take blur because my deep gnome racial will give me a permanent blur, so I don't need that. Now, I am going to take for level 2 off the starter. I will grab Knock and Lesser Death Aura. There's nothing I hate worse than not being able to get into a chest. Hey, my Artificer buddy's not with me. Oh, my rogue friends isn't here. So you're on your own and you can't loot everything that you earned. Well, I don't like that. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and move it on up. Now I'm just going to put everything into intelligence. And then we'll go ahead and keep this going. Choose a couple more. Melfast Acid Arrow is always a good choice, but I'm gonna hit Scorch and Scorching Ray. Scorching Ray, yes, those do respectable damage. They really do. So, you know, but to each their own. This is my build. Invisibility could come in handy, but you can also get mass invisibility. That's even better. Now here, this one, the first one I'm going to choose is Improved Mental Toughness. Because I want to get the most bang for my my buck there. So we are going to go on down. I love haste, but I want to make sure that I get a repair spell. I do want to make sure I do that. That's a decent one to get. That is gonna, you know, repair your friends. You're starting at 15, so unless you're helping a buddy out, I doubt you're starting a lower level where those are going to be a huge benefit for you. And then we're going to take Acid Blast. I revolve my spells around Acid, Fire, Cold, Lightning, and of course the Necromancy part of it, with the negative energy spells such as Death Aura. So that's the direction really that I want to take this. And we'll go ahead and cruise this on down. As you can see, the build's pretty straightforward. It's the spells that can actually wind up tricking you up if you're not careful. Now we'll go ahead, I'll just scroll down, see what's available. Greater spell penetration, that is always a plus. We're going to take that, and then we're going to go ahead and come down to these level 3 spells. Of course, I'm going to take haste, and I do want lightning bolt. I'm going to do that. The reason why I'm not taking fireball is I'm going to be taking delayed blast fireball, which is a huge DPSer, especially with large groups. And the cool thing about how they did that in DDO is they allow you to do an instant cast, which costs a little bit more spell points, or you can actually use the spell as it was intended and basically kind of set a trap or a time trap, if you will. That's cool. And of course, I'm definitely wanting that acid rain, but first things first, death aura. We're going to cruise down here. Force missile, ice storm. Ice storm's always a good one. Wall of fire is my go-to because, you know, that's just what I do. I love wall of fire. It isn't that expensive to cast. And of course, everything goes into intelligence. I hope I'm not confusing any of you out there. Hopefully not. Now, we get an extra point here at this level. So, what should I put it in? What would you put it in? Well, I don't need tumble, swim. I'm not going to worry about spot, no perform. I don't move silently for crap. So what I want to do is I want to be able to maybe heal myself a little bit better when I'm using shrines. So I'll just put the point in there. No big deal. Not real worried about it. Not a big deal. So this one here, I could do negative energy burst, but I'm really not going to focus on that. I am going to take repair critical, and I do want to take I'm going to take acid rain. Now, next level 4 spell I take is going to be what? Remove curse. That is going to be the one I take. I want to make sure I get that. And then we're going to go ahead and cruise on down. You got to be careful because you could wind up putting a couple more points in the heal than you normally would. So just take your time. And let's see, scroll down to the bottom where most of my stuff is at. I'm going to do, thinking about doing augment summoning. You could do whatever your, either evocation or necromancy. Or conjuration. Something to point out, you guys need to identify the spell, right? So if we're looking at these level 4 spells like acid rain, that's conjuration. That's the one I would have to choose if I'm dealing with acid. You have to remember that acid is going to be conjuration. Evocation is going to be lightning and fire, basically anything that burns you in that aspect is going to be evocation. Anything that kind of melts the skin off of you is going to be conjuration. And then of course necromancy. Those are going to be your 3 primaries as you're getting some things. So we'll go ahead and take combat casting just because that's what we're about. Ball lightning is going to be good. We're going to want to do Cone of Cold, monster summoning possibly. So I love teleport. I'm just going to take it, and then we're going to go ahead and grab ball lightning, and then chain lightning when that becomes available. That is going to be key as well. You're going to want to do that. So right now, this is where my stats are at. Just for those of you that are joining us, or trying to keep track of where I'm at, what I'm doing. It is a bit of a slow process. I appreciate everybody out there that's tuned into this video. It means a lot to me. Please, if you can, we'll take augment summoning. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share this video. It will mean a lot to me if you guys do that. I appreciate it. And this one here, I'm going to remove that. I want to make sure I get protection from elements. I just want to make sure I do it. Don't want to forget it. It's going to be important. You're going to want that as well. And we will continue on. I've leveled 10 times. There we go. Acid fog, see, the conjuration. And so if you've noticed, I really haven't been taking monster summonings, right? I haven't taken any monster summonings. From what it looks like, I can only have one conjured creature at a time. So my conjured creature is actually going to be most likely a mummy lord. So I'm gonna do create undead, and you know, the mummy lord's pretty strong. Especially you can buff him up a little bit. Doesn't hurt to buff him up. So throw a couple of things on him. Throw stone skin on him. Throw protection from elements, and he's gonna rock people's worlds and stuff. So that's gonna be a good one. And if I focus on necromancy for a little extra buffs, you know, it just makes him stronger because that is what he's in. That's the type of spellcraft that he's in. So again, boom, intelligence. And then we're just gonna bring it on down. Clickety click click. All right. And then I just take this straight to the bottom, see if there's anything interesting. Kind of focus do I want? We're at level 11. I need to start thinking about possibly that Kolpesh soon. But we're going to go ahead and take Extend Spell. I like using that. Chain Lightning, I have to. Circle of Death, it is necromancy. That's also a great choice. Do not take Globe of Invulnerability. Don't do it. If you're not going to be using Death Aura, if you're not going to use Death Aura at all, or a lot of necromancy stuff to heal you, which is what I'm going to do, then you can do whatever you want. But yeah, you're not going to want to do that. I'm going to take the Freezing Sphere here. And the rest of these are kind of cool to play with, as in, you know, True Seeing, you know, things of that nature. Those are pretty cool. Also, the Shadow Walk's awesome, but it's just if you're playing around, in my opinion, if you're going to be serious going in a dungeon, you may not want to waste that spell slot on something like that. I mean, unless if you have a specific purpose of why you're taking it. So, alright. Enough preachy. And we'll go ahead and take this on down. Oh, looking respectable. Alright, and 7th level spells. Delayed Blast Fireball is a must. Greater Teleport is good. These are great, you know, but I'm gonna take Greater Teleport. It's gonna help me out. The important one for me in this tree is Delayed Blast Fireball. Very important. And then we're at 13, so I'm gonna need to take that Kolpesh. The damage I'm doing with that Kolpesh is short of amazing, in my opinion. So now another thing that you can do is, we're kind of getting strangely familiar there with our spell book, but if we click on this here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots open. You know, we've got plenty of spells. We've got 5 here, 4 spells, so I'm short on level 2, so I'm gonna need to pick some up. Same with level 3, same with level 4, but I've got the important ones, so if I don't have any cash on hand to go get some, it's okay. I've got what I need to be successful. That is the key. And then I've got plenty of those, and probably gonna take probably going to take another 4th or 5th level. Let me double check, make sure I don't short myself on the 7th level spells. Want to make sure. I think I'm okay to check out the 6th level. We can really think hard on that Circle of Death. Greater Heroism. So those are probably going to be the 2 I choose. Yep. Alright. Now, time for the cold. Alright, next. So we're gonna just go get Mr. Kolpesh. Oh, there we go. Mr. Kolpesh there. I'm gonna scroll this down to the bottom again just to make sure I'm not missing anything. The class feat now is gonna be interesting. What do you think you're gonna use the most? Now, it's a tough choice to get one of these other ones other than Extend Spell, because you're gonna burn through your spell points like there is no tomorrow by constantly using them. It should only be for emergency use onlys against bosses, and that's it. Otherwise, you're gonna just blow through your spell points and leave you mana-less, if you will. So here, you know, I tend to focus heavy on fire, backed up by acid. Necromancy is also important. So if we're looking at this here, I'm probably going to go for Evocation, because that is going to be my most important set of spells. So fire and lightning. So fire and lightning, Evocation or Conjuration. So as I level up, I can grab Conjuration for spell focus, but I'm going to take Evocation as of right this moment. Take me level 8 spell here. Incendiary Cloud is also Conjuration. So it's in the same ballpark as Acid, but this is great. It's okay, it doesn't do top damage because it blinds your foes as well. And then we've got... man, we got some good spells in here. Polar Ray, right? Also need a little bit of ice on there. And that's Evocation as well. So your main elements, your 3 mains, are Evocation. So that's a win. We'll go ahead and finish that out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead... Now that we've got this set, we're gonna go ahead and spend these enhancement points, and then I'm gonna flip and show you my level 16, newly created, well-tested Eldritch Knight Wizard. Now we're gonna go hop right on in here. I'm not gonna waste any time. And then we're going to want that shield. Do not take Arcane Barrier. It sounds like a great idea. I've had this happen where I am going to town, being successful in an elite dungeon by myself. You know, it's like a level 18 dungeon being level 15, and then all of a sudden something bad happens, such as I drop below 50% hit points. I click on Death Aura to reactivate it because it had expired, which is a no-no, but it happens. And then that barrier went off, which means everything that was keeping me alive and protecting me stopped. However, all other magic effects that were trying to penetrate and affect me also stopped. But what didn't stop was the melee attacks pounding the crap out of me. That's what killed me. That's the problem. That is why I highly recommend on this build, my build, don't take it. Now this right here is why I didn't put anything in dexterity, nothing in strength, and everything went into intelligence. This is amazing. We are taking that. Of course we are. Now we're going to go ahead and take this as well. Pop that in there. Now the rest of this, at the moment, we're going to go ahead and get what we need over here on the Pale Master Wizard side. And then this one here, I'm just going to unset those so we don't get confused. Oh, also a quick note for those of you that care. If you click that little right arrow, you can scroll over to get your falconry tree or your, Vastani knife fighter tree, as well as some other things possibly. So just keep that in mind. If you're looking for that, that's where that's at. Just a quick note from the Reaper. All right, so we'll go ahead and we will get our pet. Gotta have our buddy. I am not going to take those. We're going to take Toughen My Flesh, Deathless Vigor. We're going to do that. We're going to put in 2 points there, just like this. I've noticed that your Skeletal Knight, even though these aren't maxed out, he is still beefy as all get out. So we're going to go ahead and take that. Now, I'm taking Shroud of the Wraith. Yeah. You could lean towards Shroud of the Vampire, but I'm taking this because I want to have a little bit higher mischance when things are attacking me. We're gonna do that, and we'll discuss that in a moment. But we're going to go ahead and now go into the Deep Gnome. And we're going to take intelligence. And we're going to take intelligence. That opens up this right here, permanent blur. Now, another thing we want to do is go ahead and pop a point or two in this. Once you do that, this one's now active. Now, this is interesting. You can put all 3 points in here, but what are you getting for all 3 points? You're getting nothing on your next 2 other than 5-second less cooldown. This is a 20-second cooldown that does protect you for a considerable amount of damage. Now, a total of 10 points of damage per caster level, 150 off the get-go. That's no bonuses, nothing. That's just raw protection from the get-go. That's awesome. That's all you need to start with in that. This tree is basically, to me, unless if you want Phantasmal Killer, it's maxed out. I mean, in my opinion, because I'm not going to use scrolls at this time. I'm not worried about any of that. So in any event, that is the direction we're going to go with that. We're going to go back over here, and we're going to go ahead and put a few more points into this tree. We are going to take Night Transformation. Now, the key thing about this is when you're fighting, your spells are going to be as close as touch. So, if you can hit it with a weapon, you can hit it with a spell. But if you're too far off to hit it with your weapon, more or less, then it isn't going to, it's just going to like fizzle out. And it's like done. So just keep that in mind. That's going to be interesting. And then now we're going to take Subtle Force. That is going to be awesome, and it's key. You know, deflecting arrows allows us a little bit higher on our spell sword dice. Minus 20% arcane spell failure from equipped armor. That means pretty much we can wear whatever kind of armor we want. That's key. And then, which direction do we want to go with this tree. We can put more in the Eldritch Knight, you know, but let's go ahead and throw some here in Pale Master. Now you can go through each one of these, see whichever one is going to be more benefit for you. The one for me that is actually the most beneficial, I think, from the start is going to be this one here. Ghost in the Wind gives me an extra 10% because of Incorporeal Mist, because I do have the Wraith form. So that's going to be a huge benefit. Additionally, we can go ahead and take this one here. Now, this is interesting. A lot of people will start with this. This costs 1 action point. This one costs 1 action point. They're basically the same. One is +6. This one is +10. Now, if I'm limited on action points and I'm not full going Pale Master, I need to put my points in that. So the object is, if you can get some gear to help with the negative energy amplification and healing, you can wind off living pretty well off of lesser death aura that we got, instead of having to cast, you know, the big death aura spell, or even embrace the void. I was excited when I saw that, and then I saw the spell point cost, and I'm like, are you kidding me? That thing is so expensive. I stopped using it on my first Pale Master Deep Gnome Wizard, is because it is just too darn expensive to use. You know, so why would I, other than getting Animate Ally and having kind of some fun with it, what's the point of going up this tree other than for this here? You know, the Ascendant Shroud. What's the point? In any event, that's kind of where we're at. Now, if you happen to take Empower Spell, Maximize Spell, you know, some of those other ones, the Extend Spell isn't part of this. You know, you could wind up saving some spell points in the end, but I think for now, this tree is sitting pretty good, unless if I wanted to go for this here, which I need 20 points in the tree for that. I need 3 more to go. I've got 4 action points that I have to throw more in there, and then that, or I can go ahead and get this one here, which is what I'm going to do in the Eldritch Knight tree. Armored Arcania. That is awesome. We are taking that. Now I'm automatically, if I find heavy armor that's mithril, boom, I can wear it. It's medium armor then, because it's mithril. You know, so you can get full plate that's mithril and you can wear it. This here is pretty interesting thought, the Force's point. But these last 2 action points, I'm going to leave it up to you guys exactly where you want to put them. You can do whatever you like, whatever suits your fancy. If you're looking at beefing up your Skeletal Knight a little more, please do so. If you're looking to throw a couple more points into negative healing, that's also a good choice. We've also got magical resistance rating that you would use. Now this here, the Arcane Siphon, is it's useful, but again, I have problems hitting my clickies. If I get into a jam, I'm not clicking that. I'm clicking Delayed Blast Fireball or Firewall or something to that effect. Now these other ones are kind of minor, really. That's going to be cool to get the Subtle Force 2. That's going to be amazing. Now, Force Point, I'm really leaning towards 2 action points, boom, or I can raise my intelligence again. By the way, my intelligence currently is at 23 until I hit that button. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3. So we're raising this to 26. So the next one's going to be 27. If I happen to take that. So it's a tough choice, guys. You make your own.
Thank you for watching Tusk Reaper Game. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.